I'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. They're in the process of passing out some copies of some bills for you. Let's give them another couple of minutes to do that, and then we'll begin. Mark, when you pass those out, be sure you get all the House members. Make sure you cover everybody up here before we give them out. Let's go ahead and we'll start, and Representative Gaines has a presentation for us.
Chairman, have House Bill 1260 that came out of committee late yesterday, but this creates a vape registry in the state to try to get a handle on. We have a lot of illegal vaping products that have come into the state, particularly from China. And so what we're trying to do is make clear for retailers what products are legal and what products are not. Right now, there's really no clarity. And so that's what this bill does, Mr. Chairman.
Don't see any questions.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that has a bill that we need to hear that has not presented? Yes, sir. Scott, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm a rule follower, so I wanted to have the bill read, the committee report, which was done. It passed last night out of Judiciary Non-Civil and was read in the committee report, favorably reporting it. The bill number is HB 1130, and what it does is it provides for a pathway for victims of human trafficking to seek immunity to avoid a trial. We passed House Bill 1201 earlier, which would address the back end and provide for vacating human trafficking. This would provide a means at the beginning for someone who was human trafficked to request immunity because they were directed to commit the crime solely because of their victim status. So it's HB 1130, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? We have some substitutes we want to address now. Whip Burchett, House Bill 267. You should have copies of these.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 267 is a bill that Chairman Tyler Paul Smith has brought to this committee that provides for a key TAM action with regard to misclassification. The piece that was added to it was Section 2 is the tolling statute, and it extends the tolling statute to the mother's or spouse during the pendency of a criminal trial. And that's the change to the bill, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you've heard the presentation. Are there questions? Is there a motion to approve? Have a motion and a second. Is there any opposition? It's approved. Thank you. Leader Efstration has a bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the committee substitute to House Bill 1105, LC 472985S. Representative Petrie is presenting this bill, and there are two changes from committee. The first is on line 78 and 79 that this substitute says a county should not be penalized for having funding withheld. And the second change is after discussing with stakeholders, the offense will not be a felony. Instead, it'd be first offense misdemeanor, second offense high and aggravated misdemeanor. Thank you. You've heard the explanation. Are there any questions?
If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve. Move in a second. Is there any opposition? It's approved. Okay. Next, from Whip Burchett, House Bill 1371.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1371, LC 442795S, which you should have on your desk. This is our Protect Small Businesses Act, and what this bill does, we had in the bill initially the codification of the Supreme Court's common law jurisprudence, and after negotiations with the interested parties, they saw fit that it'd be better to remove that codification, but remaining are two provisions that make it harder for our businesses in the state of Georgia to be sued when there is a third-party crime on their property. And lines 12 through 17 basically say that if a criminal comes on your property to commit a felony, then they cannot raise a claim against your liability insurance for premises. And then the second provision is 18 through 22. What it says is that just because you're in a high crime area, just because you're doing business in a high crime area, that does not give rise to a claim in and of itself. What we've heard from the business community is two things, is that we want to continue to provide our services in a high crime area, but we're nervous and skeptical because we're getting sued left and right, and this provision helps alleviate that issue, and that's the bill, Mr. Chairman. I'll stand for questions.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions for you. Chairman Hawkins?
I trust our whip in knowing the law and knowing it very well. But as a non-lawyer, when I read this, it says, this subsection shall not apply to a victim of a crime. Does that mean that that victim can hold the owner liable?
Say that again?
On-
Yes, a victim can. What this is specifically speaking to a scenario where someone goes on the property to commit a felony,
Right.
and then say they get shot, then
Right.
they try to sue the the owner of the property. Yes, sir.
So if the victim can sue the owner if a third party harms them.
Currently, that's the way the law sits, and yes, they can. We have not changed
Ugh,
that.
we ought to change that too. That doesn't sound very fair. I don't like that.
Well,
I'm sure you'll work on that next, right?
we'll continue to work on that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have a question, Representative Hughley?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is high crime area defined someplace else in the code?
High crime is the term that is used in the Supreme Court's opinions, but there's no definition that I have in here.
Okay. Did that take care of that? Okay. Leader Beverly?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have a scenario just real quick, and I need you to help me work through it, and that is this. I have a dear friend who was at a Office Depot, walked in to get some copies. By the time they walked out, someone had broken into the car, taken the purse, and absconded. And the area is one of these areas in Atlanta that has been gentrified, so it may be considered a high crime area based on the history. But who would be liable in that space? Because they had security, but it was 9 o'clock in the morning. It just happened recently. So how does this bill apply to the person there should have been some security that is watching this thing, but the purse was stolen, other stuff in the car was stolen.
Well, you're hitting on the point that we're seeking to address, and what we've heard from both sides of the interest parties is the business community is saying that we need some help from the General Assembly because we're being sued. But on the other side of that, if you know something's happening, if it's reasonably foreseeable that you have a crime on your property, then you have the duty to protect the people you're inviting to come do business with you. So what we're trying to do here is thread the needle with allowing folks to make a claim when there are negligent security matters or just corporate malfeasance, but also trying to protect those folks that are operating a business and are taking notice of what's happening and trying to mitigate those issues. So you're hitting on basically the root of the issue, Mr. Leader, and that's what we're trying to do here. What this is here is a step in the direction of trying to make it better for the business community. Currently, under law, if you are speaking to the first provision, if you go onto the property to let's say burglarize or mug someone, and if you get shot, you can bring a claim. Well, this wouldn't. This provision right here will say that if you went on the property to commit a felony, then you can't make a claim.
Okay. Okay, have another question, Representative Holcomb.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With Burchett, I want to make sure that it's highlighted because I think that this is right, that lines 16 and 17 specifically exclude victims of human trafficking.
Yes,
so they
and
would
thank
still
you for
have their
pointing
cause of
that out.
action.
So if you're a victim of human trafficking, you can make a claim if you are being forced or induced to commit a crime. So yes, we specifically did that because First Lady Marty Kemp has been such an advocate for victims of human trafficking. So thank you for pointing that out.
Okay, Chairman Newton has a question.
Thank you. On the second section, we were discussing about the third party, the high crime area. So it's the property owner's responsibility to keep crime off their property, not the police's responsibility to.
Oh, 100%, and that's why we're putting this provision in there, Chairman Newton. So currently, you can make the case that it is a high crime area, and just in that, you should have done something. Well, what this provision says is that just because it's a high crime area, in and of itself doesn't give rise to a claim. So this is taking that provision away. Most of the folks in here are probably thinking, well, what's wrong with the bill? Because this is a very different bill that came out of committee. What you heard about the bill 1371 was the language that the Supreme Court in their opinion of CVS we codified. We took all of that out because the business community had such a problem with that part, and that's what we've taken out. This bill is very different than what came out of committee. The only pieces that remained are these two pieces that are a step in the right direction.
Whip Park, did you have a question? Okay, sorry. Okay, you've heard the explanation. Are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve? Have a move and a second. Any opposed? It's approved, okay? All right. Let's move now to set supplemental calendar number 1 for today. Under modified open, House Resolution 901.
Move.
Have a move and seconds. Is there any opposition? It's on. House Resolution 902.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? It's on. House Resolution 1133.
Move.
Move in several seconds. Is there any opposition? It's on. Okay. Modified structure. House Bill 56.
Move.
Have a move and second. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 349.
Move.
Moving and several moves. Yeah.
And another move.
Is there any opposition? It's on. That'll make some people happy, I know. House Bill 426.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? Have an objection? All those in favor of putting House Bill 426 on, raise your hand. All those opposed? It's on. House Bill 663.
Move.
Have moved and seconded. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 844.
Move.
Have moved and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1075.
Move.
Move in seconds. Any opposition? It's on. By substitute, House Bill 1105, LC 472985S.
Move.
Have a move and second. We have an objection. All those in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? It's on. House Bill 1112.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? Have an objection. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? It's on. House Bill 1123. Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1125.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1233.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1239.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1274.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1294.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1314.
Move.
Move and seconded. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1318. Have a move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1326.
Move.
Move and seconds. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1341.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1361.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1363.
Move.
Move and seconded. Any opposition? It's on. By rule substitute, House Bill 1371, LC 442795S. Have a move and a second. Is there any opposition? It's on. House Bill 1407.
Move.
Move and second. Any opposition? It's on. By rule substitute, House Bill 1410, LC 550274S.
Move.
Have a move and a second. Any opposition? It's on. House Resolution 780.
Move.
Have a move and a second. Any opposition? Have an objection. All those in favor of House Resolution 780 going on, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. It's on. By substitute, House Bill 267, rule substitute LC 481263S. Have a move and second. Is there any opposition? It's on. Hold on. Under structured, House Bill 1031.
Move.
Have move and second. Any opposition? It's on. I'd like to recognize the Vice Chair for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pursuant to Rule 33.3, I would like to move that discussion and with regards to the measures that have just been placed on the rules calendar be limited to 1 hour, time to be divided at the discretion of the chair.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there objection? We have an objection. All those in favor of limiting the debate, raise your hand. All those that are opposed, it passes. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. I hope I don't see you again.